Hey everybody, this is Alita. From Alita's Humble Life. I'm so sorry. I'm making this video because I am making a video about surviving. This is my journey on surviving going blind. I have an eye disease and I'm slowly going blind. And I have to say this is one of the most daunting, tasking events that I've had to go through in my life, and I've had a lot of them. But I think this is the most difficult. Um, to be honest with you guys, there's a lot more people that are visually impaired, maybe not blind, but visually impaired than you know. If I forget the range, and I'm gonna definitely put it in the next video, or I will insert it voiceover to let you know exactly what the statistics is on visually impaired individuals in America, right? There's a lot of us, a lot of people that you may not even think that is walking around that have glasses on that is described as visually impaired. Okay. Um, but I have a disease, an eye disease, and I slaughter this every single time. I slaughter this all the time. So, for my visually impaired and blind community that suffer from the same disease I do, pardon me, because I tear it up every single time, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. So, I hope that I'm saying it right, but I know I'm not. Retinitis pigmentosa. Hopefully, I got it right this time. I suffer from that, and it is a hereditary disease. You get it. It is passed through your bloodline, and it attacks. Well, let's start from the beginning, right? I knew as a little child I was different. I knew as a little child that I was different from an array of different reasons of why I knew that I was different. But I did not know I had an eye problem. Neither did my mother. She had no idea that was the cause. She would tell me, pick up something on the floor. And I would say, Mommy, I don't see it. And I would get in trouble because she would think that I'm looking right at it. She's looking right at it. I'm looking right at it. And she would think that I was just, pulling her skirt. Let's just say that. Lying to her, saying that I didn't see it, but I really didn't see it. I had no idea where it was. And I've suffered from that from a very young age. I didn't know that that's what it was. And so I can remember probably young as 8 years old that I couldn't see something on the floor if she told me to pick it up. Let's say she said, go clean your room up. Cause Kimberly was, no, go clean your room up. Or Saturdays when we did our extreme clean on Saturdays, if there was anything on the floor, if I had to sweep or something like that. But if I didn't sweep good, I got in trouble. I got a whooping because she thought that I was just doing something halfway, not knowing I was visually impaired and didn't know, I didn't see it. So those were my signs, but at the time, me being a child, I had no idea. Me getting older and understanding what happens to your sight from this disease, I understand, like, oh wow, like, that it was as young as that. Getting the news at 19, I didn't take it seriously. I'm just gonna be straight up. I'm being real. It's really hard for me to be in this space in a vulnerability, letting you in, but I'm planning on being in front of the camera a lot more. So I'm going to have to be more vulnerable. I'm going to have to say exactly what's on my mind, what I went through, the things that I dealt with in my life dealing with this disease. I think the end result for this video, I want to be able to give people that are going, it doesn't even matter if it's visually impaired or if you're going through maybe just any type of disability, to give you the strength to get through this disability with confidence, knowing that you can live this way, get your abilities back, be able to maintain and survive whatever type situation you in. Maybe you're going through an amputation. Maybe you've, you know, are sick. Whatever the case may be, and you have to live with this diagnosis for the rest of your life. This was not easy for me. I started to see real results when I was 40 years old. I stopped driving at 40. I'm now 45, so I haven't drove in a few years now. I took it upon myself to stop driving. But let's go to the initial appointment of me understanding but not taking seriously this disease. I was 19 years old and my mother was saying, something ain't right with your eyes, and I have an eye problem, and the doctor told me to take you and your sister and tell y'all to go to the doctor for your eyes. Well, my sister wasn't having any problems at all, but I was telling my mom, it's hard for me to see at night. That is a key indication in this disease, right? That's the first thing that it attacks, and it is your night vision. Me and one of my best friends was talking about this the other day, and she was saying, girl, I can't see at night either. And some people really don't understand that they're going through a visual impairment, right? Or a problem. If you're nearsighted and it's to the extreme, you're visually impaired and you need to go get some glasses, especially if you're going to be driving, because you put other people at risk of maybe an accident, you not accurately knowing, how far someone is from you, or how fast you are really going, or, what's in front of you. Those type of things, because of night vision impairment, those type of things you can't gauge because you don't have that you don't have the standard vision at night that everybody else does. And so it attacked my night vision. I couldn't see good at night. Every time I looked up in the sky, I couldn't see any clouds. I couldn't see the moon. I couldn't see any stars. I haven't seen that at a very young age. I probably was about 14 or 15 the last time I've literally looked up in the sky and was able to see that, unless, someone was like, look, 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 look. And I stood there for a few good minutes and was able to see that, the moon or the star. The stars is really difficult for me to see. But the moon, if it's big enough, if it's bright enough, yes, I can see it. So yeah, we was having a discussion and she was like, oh my God, like I cannot believe, this is an issue. And it is. Retinitis pigmentosa is a disease of your cones and your rods disappearing. They dissolve, they get attacked, and it could be rapid. You could lose your sight even as young as 7, 8 years old. Or it can be prolonged like mine was. You can have your sight for so many years, and then it could slowly fade away over the years of your life, your lifespan. And to me, that's the hardest. This is the hardest thing that I've had to deal with in my whole life, because I've had my sight my whole life. And now, at 45 years old, it is literally slipping before me. This is really, really hard. And when I first noticed that, okay, this is my life, it was in 2020. And I was preparing for my son's father's funeral. And I couldn't see in the room. I walked in the room with my sister. She had the blinds up. We were sitting around with everyone. I couldn't see anybody's face. I couldn't see anything that was definite. I couldn't see features. I couldn't see any of that. Spooked the heck out of me. I was so scared, y'all. I didn't know what to do. So that was my first indication of, this is real, babe. This is real. This is your life, and this is what you're going through, and you're going to have to deal with this. And so I had a decision to make. And at that time, I was still driving around. I had a job. I was still working. Um, Married in Orlando, taking my husband back and forth to work. I'm going back and forth to work. I had a decision that I had to make, and that was, did I want to risk everyone else's life in this situation, or do, you know, I need to accept that this is what it is and this is what I suffer from and I need help? I chose to get help. But at the same token, I'm going to give you another part to this. This is definitely going to be a series. Um, but I chose to get the help, y'all. I chose to stay. This is something that I can't suffer in silence with, because if there is resources for me, I definitely need to reach out and I need to see what type of resources is available to me. That in 2020, all hell broke loose, in 2020. So I'm in the midst of understanding that I'm losing my sight. There's a deadly disease out. It's killing people. Virus, we're going to say that. It's killing people. I'm at risk of that. I'm at risk of going completely blind. I'm not knowing what to do. I shut completely down. Like, this is right before I started my YouTube channel. And I started it, and I was actually doing a good job. I was doing interviews. I said, I want to help people. I want to get the word out. I want to speak about it. I want to be an advocate. I want to help. But then I got insecure. I was hurt. I was in pain. I felt like, why me? This is a normal feeling when you are losing a sense of yours. Some people, like I spoke about in the beginning, go through amputation. This is right then. This is right there. They don't go through a slow process like I'm going through. So you lose the capability of really being able to deal with a gradual change if it's sudden. And I shut down. I didn't know how to handle it. I was hurt. I was in pain. I was angry. And I quit. I did. But my support system did not. They didn't give up. They didn't stop helping me. They didn't stop pushing me. They didn't stop loving me. They didn't say, Aletha, you can't do this. One of my good friends, he told me on a daily basis, you got this. Don't stop. Which is Anthony Parker from Third Eye Visions. And he's completely blind, been completely blind his whole life. And so I would have spurts where I'd be like, I can do this. I can do this. And then there would be times that I would say, I don't know if this is for me. I don't think that I could be this voice. I found my strength. I'm able to do this. And I want to build a community. So this is video 1 of this series of surviving going blind. We're going to get more in depth in the next video, which will probably be, today's Tuesday. I may make it to Thursday. I may make the video on Thursday. But I didn't want to go any further than 15 minutes. Our attention spans is like this, y'all. Like a net on net. So I just wanted to make sure that I gave you guys some information, just for the beginning of my walking journey through this. And I'm going to give you some more information on what this disease is, how it affects me, and moving forward, what I plan on doing to empower people that is going through the same thing that I am, and to not go through the stages that I went through in depression and hurt and pain. And let's get out and help each other get through this. This is not the end. It's just the beginning if you choose it. All right, you guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.